A female lawyer was defending a wealthy businessman's son, never imagining that her own daughter would be the next victim. It turned out that just the day before, the wealthy businessman had suddenly approached the female lawyer, wanting her to defend his son and plead not guilty. But the female lawyer, being an upright person, knew that the wealthy businessman's son was a notorious playboy and was reluctant to take on the defense. Unexpectedly, the wealthy businessman had his assistant take out a special medicine for asthma simply because he knew the female lawyer's daughter was suffering from a severe form of asthma. Recalling her daughter's painful appearance, as a mother, she couldn't bear to see her daughter suffer any longer, so she agreed to the wealthy businessman's request. However, being upright, she made 3 rules with the wealthy businessman. If your son has really broken the law, I will personally send him to prison. When the female lawyer agreed, the wealthy businessman immediately beamed with joy. Little did she know that on the day of the trial, she received a distress call from her daughter. It turned out that after learning that his father had hired the best lawyer to defend him, the playboy had become even more arrogant. With the trial about to start, he ran into the female lawyer's daughter while eating at a restaurant. Seeing that the girl was somewhat attractive, and relying on having a few cronies with him, he started to lay hands on her. The young man who was dining with the girl tried to protect her but was knocked to the ground by the playboy. Unexpectedly, under such provocation, the girl's asthma flared up again. Helpless, the young man had to beg the playboy to return the medicine, but at this life-or-death moment, the playboy insisted that the young man sing to amuse him before he would return the medicine. He even put a wine bottle on the young man's head, just to further mock him. Having had his fun, the satisfied playboy finally roughly forced the medicine into the girl's mouth. But the playboy's action was not an act of kindness. Instead, he had his eye on the girl's body. Meanwhile, after receiving her daughter's distress call, the female lawyer immediately handed over her work to her assistant, urging her to double-check the evidence. However, relying on having more people on his side, the playboy quickly dragged the girl into a private room. Moreover, a group of people outside were cheering wildly until the playboy walked out with a satisfied look on his face, leaving the girl in a state of utter despair. But the group of people acted as if nothing had happened and started eating hot pot. Even though she had dropped everything to rush over to save her daughter, she was still too late by then. Her daughter had been violated by the playboy. Furthermore, when seeing the girl's mother arrive, the playboy, seeking more excitement, even wanted to humiliate the female lawyer as well. But just then he received a call from his father urging him to come to the court for the trial, so he had to give up his desire. When the playboy arrived at the court, relying on his father having hired the best lawyer for him, the first thing he did was not apologize to the victim or ask for her forgiveness, but instead threatened the girl he had bullied and humiliate her with words again. On the other side, the upright lawyer, who had never lost a case, was already grinding her teeth in anger. Those 2 kids who were fine just yesterday were now in grave danger. It wasn't until the court announced the appearance of the playboy's defense lawyer that the female lawyer stepped forward, and at that moment, the playboy froze in shock.